Good morning, guys. We had a nice rain overnight, and this is my weekly. Let's walk through. Let's see what's blooming, what's getting ready to bloom. Get excited about that, and it's all about documenting your garden so you know what's happened this year in May, so that you can compare it to last year. If you're like me, I've kept a gardening journal all the 50 years. Maybe not all 50 years I've gardened, but you can go back, and we all that have gardened this many years know that this has been the most interesting spring we've had. So let's get forward with this. I want to show you too. We had just put up a video about our red robin tomato. Yum. Look at this. I didn't grow it from seed. I picked up a plant, but look at that sweet thing. Yum, yum, yum.
That's a tiny little plant.
It's a tiny little plant. Like I said, it doesn't get, it's red robin. It stays very, very compact. What was it, 6 by 12? No, I don't think it's that high. It gets, it doesn't tell me on the tag, but it's not going to get much bigger than this. I think maybe it drapes 6 inches down and 6 inches up. Great for a little pot. But I also want to show you, oh wait, Reggie picked out these flowers for that pot, and isn't that great? His eye for color is phenomenal, but you want to know what's really fig-nominal?
Fig-nominal?
That's not my term, I saw it. I have figs, guys. Look at this. 1, 2, 3.
Now hold your finger still there for a second, so
this little thing is going to grow into my delicious fig. This is my turkey fig. Thank you. Look at these little ones, Sylvia. There's figs coming everywhere, and I just had to show you that. You know, I kept it through the winter. It came back out, and it's producing fruit. Yay me! So we're going to go down. I'm going to show you what's blooming and what's getting ready to bloom. The newest thing is my lavender, which I just love. I love this stand of lavender, and lavender is so easy to grow. It likes poor soil, it likes full heat, it doesn't need fertilizer. What I like is you can cut it fresh. You can I dry it all the time because it's beautiful to use in packages. It's beautiful in just to smell it. When you touch it, it smells so good. So this is just the newest thing, and I love the color. I cut mine way back at the end of season. I don't want it to get real woody, so I keep it cut back. That way it comes back from new growth. Love it. A little bit of time there too, if you need it. The peonies, as you can see, they're looking worn. Rain. It's a love-hate relationship with peonies for me. I love them, love them, love them. I have bouquets in the house, but the rain can be hard on them. And there's you can see several buds on Carl Rosenfeld, the pretty purple one over there.
That's probably my favorite one.
Yeah. The white heritage rose is almost done. And I tell you, this beautiful pink Sarah Bernhardt, unbelievable. There's a few down in the main garden that have some those little buds I think I'm going to cut and get them put in the refrigerator, and so I can bring them out when Reggie has his art show June 7th and 8th. But I want to tell Lane Rush, if he's watching today.
Where's Lane?
No, there is a plant down here. I'll be right behind you. I'm going to go in and show you where it is.
You have so many plants. Huh?
This is my Liatris. I started from seed from Lane Rush 2 years ago. It's going to bloom this year. Yay. And I have put the others on the other side. But Lane, thank you. I'll be anxious to see it come up and bloom. So I also want to show, before we go down, Reg. I'm getting ready. This clematis is getting ready to bloom, and it's doing what I would hope it would do, climb into this tree. This is going to be full of those purple blooms, and oh my gosh, exciting times.
And look at this.
I know. This is the Black Tower elderberry. This is 3 years old. It has its blooms, which means I'm going to have berries in the fall, but I love its form. Tall, beautiful, and now against that black, it's so pretty. So let's go on down. Yeah, I tell you, and that This clematis is Poet. I think it's unbelievable, vigorous grower. This is just its second season, and when it starts to bloom, and I just now see something I have never seen. This is little quickfire hydrangea, Reg. Remember we brought this back from the show up in Mackinac Island?
Oh, when we went to the Grand
Yeah.
Garden show.
Now we brought it back in a 4-inch cup, and this is its third year. And little quickfire will get.
That was a gift from Proven Winners.
It's a gift from Proven Winners, along with double play doozy spirea on the other side. But this will have white blooms, and then it fades to pink all season long. So that'll be pretty once it comes. Anticipation, people. I guess, could we sing Anticipation without getting a flag?
No.
I know. You can't use.
I think you can use it in the context of your story, just to provide a little context. But
No, you
No.
get in trouble. Anyhow, look at this. Daylily blooms. These are the
Where?
Jackson's Mill Yellow.
You stand in front
Right
of
here.
me.
Not blooms, but they're starting to come up. And here it is, May 20.
I'm more enthralled by what this daggone cat is doing. Look here.
I know. Oh, golly. You know. But you come down here at the foot of the.
There's another cat.
This is wow way, I think, today. Finally, in a garden, you have your purples come out one day, and then the pinks. Now you have yellow bursts throughout the garden. You can see those. These are my little buttercups. But the yarrow, my gosh, these yarrows.
It has real nice color this year.
Isn't that beautiful? And I love how it has. I have planted it throughout the garden. This is from Mrs. Hunt from down in Jackson's Mill years and years and years ago. And I brought it from my first garden, and it is so pretty. Of course, I like the lilacs and the purples, but this is a pop of color against its gray foliage.
Yeah.
I tell you, this is Rose Campion. Thank you, Barb. And this is unfreaking believable. And I have some new little seedlings of those over there started. Oh, I just noticed behind it, my Lythrum. You stay right there. The Lythrum is starting to bloom out too. Everything is 2 weeks ahead of time, people. Just absolutely, yes. The alliums are still blooming. Love it. With the help of, what was it? Hunter's paint? Hunter's pink,
yeah.
Hunter's purple paint.
Yeah.
Anyhow, loving this garden. The Bonita shrub rose last week wasn't in bloom. Yeah. And look at it now.
Overnight.
Isn't it lovely? It is like the sweetest, sweetest, sweetest. Get a little close up if you can, Reg, of these buds. If I had my snippers, I'd cut this off, take it in the house, put it in a bud vase, because
Well, you have your hands
I
in
love
front of everything. There you go.
the buds itself are worth having.
Yeah.
And then I would always probably cut a little piece of forget-me-not. Isn't that a little statement piece? I know. I talked about the asters and the phlox, and how sometimes I do a little cut back, or what they call the Chelsea chop. And my asters aren't ready yet. I think next week I'll come in and just cut those back like I've done to. And what that does, by cutting those back, because this is an old variety that gets, if I didn't chop it back, it probably gets every bit of 5 feet tall. And then when it's in bloom, it flops. And then I have to tie it up. But what I've learned throughout the years is by chopping it back or cutting it back by about a third, it stays more compact. And you can do that to your garden phlox, your asters, your sedums, which I've never done. In fact, I just now look behind Reg, and they're getting their blooms. I love them. The sedums color and how their seed heads look like, their bloom heads start coming out, and they'll be green until the fall, which gets a real pretty rose colored pink. But you can cut those back if you think yours get too tall. Mine have never gotten too floppy, but I will do that to the asters here in a week or two, because I did do that chop. If you watch Gardening with Marta, she does that to her cat mint. And why she does that is, after this flush is through blooming, then this will come up, and we can cut the dead off here, and we'll still have color. So you get, seasonal color all the way around. Love, love, love it. The other thing I noticed this morning, all of my Lilliput zinnias, look at these.
Starting to get buds.
We've got buds coming up. They've branched out nicely from where you have cut them back when they were young. branched out. Oh, Giles Van Hess,
What
Veronica.
is that?
It's a miniature little Veronica, and I'll show you a full size. Isn't this sweet? It needs to be probably moved
Is
to
it
the
more to
front
the
of the
front?
border. Yeah, because this is my little, another dwarf balloon flower. What I'm going to do here with Sarah Barnhart, I think these are just, I have vases of her in the house, just gorgeous. But this little bud, I'm going to, it's what I call the marshmallow stage, and I am going to cut this bud because it looks to be the last of the buds. Wrap it in some newspaper, put it in the refrigerator, and bring it out in a couple weeks. Here is a white Veronica that has come out too. And I don't think we've put up the video about braiding the grasses, but oh my gosh, I love getting it braided up for two reasons. It just looks so cute. And this is ornamental zebra grass, but it helps it from flopping onto, this is my invincible limelight hydrangea, which had I not, you know, tied this up or braided up the branches, it'd be flopping over and this wouldn't get a chance to bloom beautifully, and it's going to. But this is the little white Veronica that is not the miniature, as you can see, and this blooms all season long. When you don't have to deadhead it, but you can if you're particular like I am, but it'll have blooms all summer long. It's late spring, but it'll do it all summer long. And then let's see what I want to show you over here. We'll go over to the shade garden for just a minute. And hey, Reg, this is just an illusion, but doesn't this, you stand right back there, does that look like the number 3 to you?
No, I saw
in
it
the
immediately.
Brunnera?
Yeah.
I know, this morning I thought, what? Did a leaf come out like a number 3? See, you got to walk through your garden every day. It's just 2 leaves looking like a number 3. Something interesting to take a look at. And the rose, you know, is
Wow, that's
phenomenal.
really
It's
come
the
out.
prettiest we've ever seen it all the years I've lived here. And it's due to the rain, the easy spring. But I also am noticing these are my astilbes now.
I love the astilbes.
Yeah, and they
You
last
have
quite a
pink
while.
and white.
Pink and white. And they'll be, you can see this is almost ready to pop out. Anticipation, people. Anticipation of what's coming next. And then I saw back here, Jack Manii. Yay.
I don't know if I can get back there, honey.
You probably can't, but you can see him from here. Isn't this beautiful? Lots of buds
Let me
coming
zoom
out.
in a little bit there.
And Jack Manii will take over this trellis. He is a beautiful clematis, and he is a class 3. So in the late winter, spring, you can cut him down to about 10 to 12 inches. You can even cut him off to the base. But he comes back and blooms on new wood. Absolutely beautiful. Does well in part shade, part sun. This pot is doing phenomenal. So absolutely another great week in the garden, not only on what we've done. Yeah, we added a bench this week, and I've loved the perspective it's given me. I was watching Jess the other day on, if you haven't
Who's
picked,
that?
Jess, the gardener out of Michigan.
Oh, I like her.
And she put in a bench in her garden, but this was inspiration from my granddaughter, who has a good eye for being 7 years old. She said, Nana, you need a bench. And I do, because I can sit here now and look at this part of the garden. The bench on the riverbank is absolutely beautiful, our river deck. I love the river. But if I want to see my garden, I bring a chair out and sit there. Now I don't have to. But I have to tell you, the best part of my week, it's been a big week of gardening and doing things I love to do. I got invited to help plant what they call the Blue Star Memorial Veterans Garden at the Lewis County Park. And as any parks and your city gardens go, sometimes they get lost in the wayside of everything else, and your volunteers get older and they don't keep it up, or the city can't do it. So this garden needed to be rejuvenated, and so it was a perfect summer day, 87 degrees at 5 o'clock.
It was hot.
And I don't complain a lot, but sometimes that time of day and the heat is a challenge for me. And until I met this wonderful man and his friend that called about, let's rejuvenate the garden, because they have family who were veterans. And when I get there and talking with them, I knew the gentleman, and I knew he was older than me, but he was 92 years old and in the best shape and so energized. And his friend, I know she's older than me, but younger than him, they were there to work. And so we just got our shovels out because there were lots of weeds and irises. We were going to be planting 84 4-inch perennials that evening, and it looks gorgeous. I'll put a picture up. So we're there and we're talking, and they jump in. Here's the plan. Let's get the weeds out. Let's get the soil tilled. She was going to take all the irises that were there. There were several clumps because you know why? She's going to put them on her hillside so she doesn't have to weed eat. That's the energy these people have. And I, at one point, because there were 9 of us, with them included, at one point, we're under the shade tree drinking water, wiping our brow because it was pretty warm. We worked 3 hours that day to get it complete. Who's out in the garden tilling? He was, just didn't take a break. And the other fun thing was one of the organizers of the group is young, and she's expecting. Who else was out there in the garden? There she was raking, and we're all sitting there, and we were inspired, not only by the fact that this young woman's out there and hot and pregnant, but this gentleman, 92, is out there, and we're thinking, golly, we cannot complain. He gets so much enjoyment from this. Gardeners are a different breed of people, and I'm glad to be one of them. But if we can inspire, he inspired all of us. When we left, we're saying, can you believe it? Because he was helping throwing the mulch down. Strong person. She was too. No one quit until the end. But if we can change one life in our lifetime, and I feel through example, not necessarily through our words. Words are important, but I think our example speaks more. That man changed the lives of all those people that were around him, and that wasn't his intent. His intent was there because he honored veterans who, have made our country free, and she did too. And that's just what they do. They were going to go home, and I bet they planted those irises on that hillside so that she doesn't have to weed eat it. But people, be mindful. Whatever your talents are, mine is gardening. That's my passion. Whatever it is, if you give back and you love what you do and you're doing it all for the right reasons of making life better for someone else or something to pass on, you will impact that one person in your life. And that's what we're all about. This gardening to me is mental, physical, spiritual, and intellectual. And I hope it is for you too. So thanks for watching Gardening on the West Fork. Get out and just walk through and be inspired and excited like I am today for what's going to happen tomorrow. Because just like life, in a blink of an eye, it changes. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.